Aloha guys, Scuba Chris here. Now these reels represent, or this part of these reels represent the grouping of Cedros power spinning reels by Okuma. Now these initially came out in 2019, and when I was at a product show, the director of Okuma, John Bretzel, came down, gave me at the time 2 white boxes. These boxes were just pure white at the time. Says, Chris, your first job as pro staffer and representative is to explain to everybody at the expo what these 2 reels mean. He goes, never seen this before, and I don't know what it means. He goes, oh, I'm so sorry. He said, they just came out of the factory. We just got the first couple. You got them all. So I'm going, okay. So what happened is that, let me help you. And what he did is he wrote down the names, the model numbers on both. So he goes, there you go. Now we know that these 2 are the CJ 8000. And then he left. I couldn't believe it, but that was my first introduction to Okuma. So I had to kind of wing it. There was no reading, there was no box, there was nothing. I just had to go by what I saw, but I obviously did a good job because he said that I did a good job, so I'm pretty happy with that. So what we got here, these are the 8000s. Now these were meant to do everything from plugging to jigging to mainly surf casting. It was surf casting reel. Davey Brown with Okuma uses it on his kayak, same as John Bretza on his yak as well as boat too. They troll with it, they bottom fish with it. This reel can do it all. If you look on the internet, there is so much history where guys from the shoreline or the boat are catching GTs, they're catching tunas, they're catching marlin with this one, the 8000 reels. So that should say a lot, right? Okay, since my time ran out with Okuma, which I was kind of lucky because I got an extension on my original contract, so which is unusual for any staffer to do more than 1 term with them. I'm kind of happy with this time I spent with them. I made some friends, and I got to learn about this company Okuma. They make really good quality material. They're inexpensive. They're one of the top 3 fishing manufacturers companies in the world, which is something. And they're also one of the newest. So this here, I would say, is probably one of the best reels I currently own. I don't have the 6000 to make the series complete because that was released after I had left. There was a need for it because, especially for the kayakers, they wanted it. But right here, this is based of all the sizes. I don't use the 10 and the 14. I used to use the 14 for surf casting, but not much anymore. I never used the 10 yet, so I really cannot tell you what that's all about. I use the 8s here the most. Now, if the 8s here, if you search on the internet, can bring in large 150-pound tunas to marlins off the boat, they can handle GTs or anything else that the local waters here can throw at me. And I use the 4000 here for just about everything else in between. And I tell you, for 4000, this thing is strong. So let me run down some of the attributes of these reels, and hopefully you'll be impressed because I'm impressed. In fact, you know what? I just made up my mind this year, maybe next month, I will treat myself before the end of the year and get the 6000, so at least I'll have the complete set. So okay, my first introduction to the Cedros spinners was back in 2019. Back then there was only 3 models, 8K, 10K, and 14K. So back then my favorite size was released. The 4K was released right after that. So what's under the hood of all these reels? You have the DFD, the precision dual force drag system. So that's really important when you want to put the pressure on your fish. You don't want anything backing up on you, right? You don't want it backing up and peeling off the line. You have the CRC corrosion resistant coating. Now these units here have been, well, without corrosion or anything for 6 years, so it shows that it's working. So you have what is known as you have 6 HPB and 1 RB. So you have 6 high performance bearings and 1 roller bearing, and these are all stainless steel bearings. You have dual anti-reverse, which is quick set and ratchet system. So quick set means that it's not going to back off on you, and you have your ratchet system. Pretty self-explanatory. You have the HDG2, which is the second part of the corrosion resistant high density gearing. So that's all under the hood. So this is like the second generation. And if you look on Facebook, you look on Google, you type in what you have here, these reels have brought in large tunas to the boat as well as marlin, and that was mostly on those, the 8000s. Alrighty. So you also have multi-disc drag adjustments, which is up here. So it's more precise. You know, it's not, one turn means it's not going to jump a lot. It's going to be more micro control on that. You also have rigid corrosion resistant mag aluminum alloy construction. So basically it means that you got a pretty good body there. You also have a manual bail trip for ultimate reliability. So it's not gonna it's not going to trip on its own. I'm trying to turn it, I can't. You have to manually trip it. And it has what Okuma's known for, really thick bail wire right here. So it's not thin, it's not going to bend if you drop it. Well, if you don't drop it from a higher place manual. And the main thing, it has the hydro block watertight seal with a machine aluminum screw and handle. So let me see. See, instead of the normal hexagonal handles, this one has a screw in. So I have to kind of figure out what kind of Gomex's accessories I can put on for a power arm. I'm not sure yet. Either that, I might have to take the ball off to figure that one out. Now, a lot of you know that I really like the Cedros reels. I really do. And the reason why they never went smaller than the 4000 is that these weren't built for light finessing. These were made for big time heavy, bring the fish in to the boat or the shoreline. So there's no need to go smaller than the 4000. In fact, I find the 4000 is kind of beefy when I go out with my lighter rigs. So I only do that when I do a little bit, let's just say lighter surf casting. So currently right now, I have one 4,000 unit. I have two 8,000 units. I have a 10,000 unit and a 14,000 unit. Now there is another unit that's currently out, the 6,000, but the 6,000 was the last in the series, and I wasn't with Okuma at the time when it came out. So all of these reels come with a limited lifetime. I'm sorry, not lifetime, but a limited warranty of 1 year. So nowadays, instead of turning in the card to the mail, just have to go online and you can just plug it in to email on the Okuma site, and you're guaranteed for 1 year limited warranty. Thanks, guys.